And hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Zone TV Movie Entertainment with me, your host Jonathan, once again bringing you my thoughts and review for today's episode of Disney Plus's Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Episode 5. Now in this episode, spoiler alert if you have not caught up to these episodes yet, so in this episode we got to see the partnership of Harry Osborn and Peter Parker. They first got to meet each other in the last episode, and then of course Harry found out that Peter is Spider-Man, so he ended up being the guy in the chair due to the fact that Norman Osborn being, a CEO of a company, he has to run the company, so sometimes he won't be able to help Peter exactly, but Harry can. We find out he's like some kind of, Instagram influencer guy, so he's got a lot of followers, a lot of people know who he is. So there's that. So Peter and him start becoming friends. So we got to see that, play out. So that's great. We also got to see those bank robbers from the previous episode make a return as well. Especially that one lady who kind of abandoned her friends to give the money to the person who's been giving away the weaponized tech stuff to, criminals. And then we found out that it was Dr. Otto Octavius the whole time. If you guys look at the symbol and all the tech, it's up, sideways 8 in a way. So octopus, 8 arms. So, there you go. So that was pretty cool. We also got to see Harry's school friend, the football kid. I keep forgetting his name. He's great. We get to see his downward spiral continue as, he kind of sacrificed himself to join the gang who wanted his little brother. So he's now part of it. And he's got to try to figure out how to balance that plus school with football, because football is like, hey, you're like this close to getting a scholarship. You can throw it all away if you don't show up to these practices. So he's kind of in one of those spots where he's like, he's got to make a choice. He has no choice but to be a part of this gang, but he also wants to do what he does best, play football. So he's got that problem. We also get to see a moment where his new crew and Matt Gargan's crew, which is the Scorpions, because Matt Gargan eventually becomes the Scorpion. They have like some kind of turf war in some kind of basketball court, and they get into a big fight. Gargan fights off the big boss as well. He tries to take a knife to him. He tries to stab the boss, and of course the kid gets stabbed in the shoulder, and then they later on dub him Tombstone, and that's how he gets his name. So we're gonna slowly see his dark side start to show up. We're gonna see him transition into Tombstone eventually. He's a really complicated character, and I can't wait to see him go down that rabbit hole of being bad and also breaking away from Peter. Maybe he finds out Peter's secret and that makes him snap, because he's eventually going to become stone and very powerful and strong. So we'll see how that happens, maybe in future seasons if we get more. So hopefully. Yeah, and then of course Peter fights the lady with the rhino helmet. It's like a rhino helmet because it has like a little horn and it's got lasers. So he fights her, saves the Russian dude who gets in the crossfires of this lady's, laser, because she was going to take him out just to get to Spider-Man, and then Spider-Man sacrifices himself to save this bad guy because he was in harm's way. He was still technically a civilian because he wasn't running away. He was just there, and, we got to see that kind of happen. And so he goes back to jail. The other girl goes back to jail as well. And that's basically the episode. A very good episode as well. My only complaint so far about this show, especially when there's situations where Spider-Man has to fight bad guys, is there's a lot of people there, and I get it. They're amazed that there's a superhero fighting on the street, and I get that. Get out of the way, leave. Why are you standing there? Like, I'm watching this episode, and this Russian lady, or, I don't know exactly where she's from, but she's kind of like Russian. So she's fighting Spider-Man, blowing up cars, blowing up, pieces of building, rubble coming down. And people just stand there like it's just a normal Saturday watching two people fight in the streets over Pokemon cards or something. I don't know. And it's like, get out of the way, run. And Peter's trying to save these people and also fight this bad guy. It's like, ugh, Crazy, very weird. So I find that very odd that this New York City has got like a people watching fight problem. So that's like my only little, nitpick about this episode. Get out of the way. There's people fighting. Get out of the way. Unless you're in danger and you can't move, obviously Spider-Man will try to save you if he can. But get out of the way. If you're just standing there taking pictures, it's bizarre. In the last episode when Peter was trying on the costumes, he gets jumped because he got his cape caught. There's an old lady who got mugged taking pictures of it. It's like, really? Peter, Spider-Man's about to get beat up by these kids and you're taking pictures. Come on. I feel like the city of New York in this world is kind of, when it comes to like being like, ooh, look, superheroes, let's take pictures. Crazy. But overall, very good episode. I'm really enjoying this show a lot. I think this show has a lot of potential to continue making more. I like the dynamic between Peter and Harry. I like the dynamic between Peter and his other friend, Nico, I think her name is. Probably butchered that, apologize. She's great. And the kid who becomes Tombstone, he's probably my favorite character so far. I really don't want him to become Tombstone. Unless Tombstone does like a 380 and becomes a good guy when he gets his superpowers. But we'll see what happens. But still, I think it's pretty cool. And I can't wait to see next week's episodes. So, leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Are you guys looking forward to seeing this episode? Not caught up yet? Haven't watched the show yet? Why not? What's your favorite Spider-Man cartoon? Leave me a comment below. Let me know. Stay tuned for more. And thank you very much. And have a good day.